Fine.
For right now, this is a part-time position, and
Okay,
then in May, we'll make it full.
okay. That's same person or back out one?
No, same person.
Okay. That's all I could.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 4, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings, A through E.
Move to approve minutes A, B, C, D, and E as presented.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes A, B, C, D, and E as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 5, requisitions. This is as shown on A, vendor requisition list of payments.
Madam President, I do have one change to that requisition list. We are going to take away work order 43492 for the State Journal in the amount of $60.
I have a question on the fuel. My confusion is I thought we used to purchase from the school board, correct? And we're paying taxes also on the fuel, so I would like to have you look at the taxes that we're paying on the fuel and to work out, but if the school board, before we pay that, make sure that we're all on the same page.
Now, the taxes with the fuel, will actually get a rebate of those taxes, usually end of July, August timeframe for those taxes.
And then with the school board, because I just want to make sure we're not overlapping before we pay that. Is that all right, Susan? Otherwise,
So you make a motion.
motion to approve.
Motion to approve with the exception of
43429.
and clarifying.
Fuel bill.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, motion carried. Number 6, exoneration corrective tickets to property applications. We have exonerations and corrective tickets. It looks like A and B. Pleasure.
Commissioner approve A and B.
Motion to approve number 6, exonerations A and B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. 9:05, we have a hearing for the estate of David B. Maxwell, hearing to accept copy of will in place of law original. Is there anyone here
Bradley May.
Is there anybody else here for that item? You wanna identify yourself?
Bradley May. Trying to get appointed. I was taking care of everything for David. And if I've lost it, misplaced it, there's a possibility that it's in a safety deposit box at Huntington. I can't get in without being appointed. So we did get a copy of the will from the attorney, Mr. Kupek, that he had filed. Confident that it never changed. They sent that over to you, so.
The name of the executive?
I've been here. I was already 30 years ago. Taking care of those.
Were the other beneficiaries noticed this hearing today?
We were using every bit of this year.
There's no one else involved.
Who is George William Maxwell?
That is a brother. If I wasn't in the event that I was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I need to read the whole paragraph. I just want to make sure I'm just, okay. Thank you. So you're wanting to probate a copy of the will because you can't
Yes.
find the original.
Yes.
You hope to find the original,
Hopefully it's.
because you can't get in there without
Yes.
an appointment. Any questions of Mr. Mayor?
Pleasure.
The motion to move forward as stated by you and Mr. Now.
Motion to move forward with appointing Mr. Mail as the executor of the last will and testament of David Lee Maxwell. And there's attorney with that. Okay, is there any further discussion?
Okay, we have, we have.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. You have the order on the. Okay. Thank you. Is Zoom,
I believe Zoom is.
Yes.
is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak public? Anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak public? We will move on to number 7. Consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payment of costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of the series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District Series 2021 A and B, Development District number 3, White Oaks, project number 2, and Series 2008 A, Charles Point, project number 2, North Land Bay improvements. We have requisitions A through C, all to recap various amounts. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve number 7A through C.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, number 8. Review, discuss, consider GSA update potential executive session pursuant to 689A4B9 to consider matters involving or affecting the purchase, sale, or lease of property, advanced construction, planning, the investment of public funds, or other matters involving commercial competition which, if made public, might adversely affect the financial or other interests of the county.
Madam President, the only update I have is the fire marshal is scheduled to be back at the GSA tomorrow to hopefully finish his inspection. He came a few weeks ago and was not able to complete everything in that day because he had to schedule another day to come back. So it's scheduled for tomorrow. So hopefully everything works out.
Elevators up and running.
Elevator's on.
Those 12 people outside.
They're trying to finish up the punch list.
Was there, I was afraid of when that busted out when I saw it last.
I thought they were, I'll double check on that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought they were just finishing up punch list.
Everybody says it's Pack Street Road. Does the office furniture on them?
My understanding it is all done.
Anything else in the GSA? And these will move on to 9:10. It's public hearing on property maintenance ordinance, second reading. Okay, I will open the public hearing for the property maintenance ordinance for the second reading. And it's for an ordinance of the County Commission of Harrison County, West Virginia, adopting the 2018 International Property Maintenance Code, thereby replacing, amending, updating, and superseding all prior ordinances as to the IPMC. Anybody here to speak for or against? Hearing none. Should we do just two?
Yes,
So we can move to adopt this today, right? Yes.
we, the way the ordinance is drafted, I'm just looking at the blanks.
Oh,
We should send it again and have a third reading, approve on the third reading. If you look at the bottom of page 3. Yeah,
this is following said public hearing on a motion of second by who was passed. On third. Second reading. Next. I'll get to it. Okay. Again, we'll place this on the-
and we want to make the proof of publication part of the record.
Yes.
So motion to make it part of record. Advance to the next following meeting on the. What day will that be?
The 19th of April and it will be at the 19th of April meeting.
Okay,
Okay, motion to place on the April 19th meeting.
I think it's the same time.
Okay,
Or 9.
I think it's the same time.
is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. We don't have anything for now, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, number 10, review, discuss, consider letter of resignation and appointment of board member from Summit Park PSD. A letter of resignation from Ronald Johnson effective April 10th, 2023, the appointment of Letitia. Letter to fill the vacancy of Mr. Johnson's term ending September 19th, 2028, effective April 13th, 2023.
motion approved as read.
Motion to approve as read. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 11, review, discuss, consider letter of resignation for Teresa Bassnett from the Bingham PSD Board effective 3/31/23.
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve number 11. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider accepting Michael Schuman's resignation from the Harrison County Development Corporation.
Let's go ahead and keep on going 13. Think about
Unless she's in line.
it. Okay. Motion approved.
A motion to approve number 12, accepting the resignation of Mr. Jenkins. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 13, review, discuss, consider appointment of Susan Thomas to the Harrison County Development Corporation.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve number 13. Is there any discussion?
And I'd like to welcome you as a member of that organization to sit on the board and thank you for. Is looking forward to this mission.
No, I look forward to learning. that way. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Okay, motion to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, 10:15. Well, actually, 9:50. We can cover that up. Public hearing nuisance complaint, William Ramsey and Jenkins Avenue as.
Yeah.
There's a picture, Charlotte just provided.
Or who's gonna testify to that? Swear. I know Bill's back there, right? Do you wanna stand and raise your right hand, Bill? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can have a seat. Charlotte, you wanna give us some background?
Yeah, this is Mr. Ramsey, and, this house is, on Junkins Avenue, over there towards Adamston. And we have been trying to clean that area up a lot, and, there's several houses over there, and his house is one of them. We've been on to him since 2019 to tear the house down. He would get behind on the taxes, then he would pay the taxes, and it was just a yo-yo back and forth. And so here we are today, still trying to get the house down. He did come in yesterday and talk to me, and I did offer him that we could go into an agreement where the county takes it down and we put a lien on the property. He is still, I guess, thinking about that. There's people starting to break into it. And the windows are getting busted out, and it's gonna be another Copeland Avenue. It's gonna get bad. So we're hoping that we can get this one tore down soon. I know that James and Robert has been talking to him a lot. And we're just not getting anywhere with it.
Mr. Ramsey, did you want to speak to this?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Did you want to say anything?
Yes.
Okay.
I think different with Mrs. Schaefer's, presentation here. Might as well start with the first thing, about the taxes. I've never been behind in the taxes in that piece of property. The last comment I remember making is that, I believe you said James and Robert have been in constant contact with me. One time they contacted me. I wasn't aware until I came in and talked with Mrs. Schaefer yesterday that the intent was to tear the house down. The last time that I talked to James and Robert, they said the house was structurally sound, cosmetic, and the reason that it needs some cosmetic attention is because the vandals have broken into the house. And I'm here today to see what my options are. And I'm sure you people realize, you know, you can't just make a decision in 24 hours. So that's what I want to say.
Does have any questions? Does have any questions, Mr. Ramsey?
Okay.
But I should send it to circuit breaker.
So it's in the second one. Or record that.
Motion's been made to send it to circuit court. Is there any discussion?
Patsy, if you will give him 2 weeks before we send them to try to settle,
I'm in the motion then to, as Commissioner consent.
so 2 weeks to work a plan out or settle with the county, or it goes to circuit court, sir.
So you'll come back in 2 weeks and let us know what's happening.
On the 19th.
Motion is to give Mr. Ramsey 2 weeks to get with planning on a plan. Come back to the next meeting. If not, then it will go, if you don't have a plan within 2 weeks, it will go to the circuit court. Is that correct? My motion.
That's
Okay. My motion. All, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 14, review, discuss, consider the appointment of Chad Edwards to Harrison County Development Reporting Board for a term of 3 years as representative. What's the pleasure? Motion to approve number 14. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 15, review, discuss, consider the appointment of Lexi Mayfield to the Harrison County Development Authority Board for a term of 3 years as lumber courts representative. Motion to approve number 15. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 16, review, discuss, consider approval of transfer of sick time for approved policy for A, Bradley Pickens, and B, Shane Richards. Motion to approve number 16. Is there any discussion?
Madam President. After today, I would like, Madam Administrator, if you would please put this on the agenda. This makes me crazy. I want everybody to know it does. Just stop doing this, please. I'd like you to reword it with the county attorney that we don't have to do this anymore.
I'll get with Trey and see what our options are.
Thank you, Madam President.
Motion to approve number 16. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider request for change order number 46 F&I 4 wall packs for first floor in the community corrections side of GSA.
Talk to me about this. Laura.
What is
So this is, the wall packs are the emergency lighting over in the day report center. So
Gary paid for these.
Gary will be paying for them.
Okay,
once
I'm
we-
tracking it.
Yes, we had to get these wall packs to get emergency lighting so they could get their certificate of occupancy for that section of the building.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion approved.
motion to approve number 17? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number 18, review, discuss, consider request to travel Dennis Berger and Whitney Newland, Animal Control, April 20th, 2023, to receive AET continuing education programs to the resort.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve travel. Is there any discussion?
I can do it. Was he still?
Well, he's going to.
Good.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 19, review, discuss, consider request to travel to Wayne Worth, Harrison County Community Corrections Day Report Center, May 3rd through May 4th, 2023, Spring CE Conference for Social Workers, Charleston Civic Center, Charleston, West Virginia.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve travel for 19. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider the Community Development Block Grant CARES Act CDBG program provides grants to states, insular areas, and local governments to prevent, prepare for, and respond to spread of COVID-19. Budget Amendment 02 increases previously budgeted amount of public mental assistance. But that's what you do.
So the number of 2021 kind of go together. This is our CDBG grant that we have with Community Action. They're a partner. They're the ones who are actually performing all the work, going out and finding the people who need the assistance. There's been a couple of changes to this grant. We've had it since 2021. We have one extension of period so far. We don't think we're going to need a second one. this budget amendment changes, it originally was for mortgage assistance, and then that was changed to include utilities and rental and such. And now it's going to be 90% rental assistance, but we have to have a budget change, an amendment to move that money back. And once we submit that, we will be able to send in number 21, which is the request for reimbursement. We have already sent $43,000 to Community Action to pay them for what they have given out in rental assistance. And so once we get the budget amendment signed, we will submit the reimbursement request so that state will reimburse us.
Are there any questions?
Thanks, Sharon.
So we're gonna approve 20 budget amendment 02. That's what you want out of 20.
Yes, please. And fixing,
For the reimbursement is the next.
yes.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 20. Budget amendment 02. Increase previously budget amount of public services.
Does that cover 21 too?
No.
Dave? Okay.
Okay, the motion. Commissioner number 20, is there any discussion? None, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. And she's already told us about 21.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve 21. Is there any further discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, we have a 9:25 public hearing nuisance complaint. Alice Owens of White Bell.
Yeah.
Who is going to testify?
Yeah.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Oh. Okay, Charlotte.
This is now Claire. So they have done work, because there was several trailers, three trailers on it that were really bad, the sides were gone, and everything. So they have done some work. And they have been working hard. I think the last few months though, the guys haven't seen anything going on. And we're just needing a plan as to what you're gonna be doing and.
Well, we're gonna be cleaning it up, starting now, but, after, May, when I get this, well, I can walk without a cast, then we'll go up there and, well, we tore the trailer down. Because I never lived up there for 30, 40 years. And my nieces lived there, and every time I went up there to try to tell them they need to clean the place up, they would call the cops for me and have me removed off the property. Because they lived there, they had more, because they lived there. Well, people started complaining they was doing drugs up there, prostitution, stuff like that. All kind of men and women was going in and out of there. And they would call me up out of bed and try to get me to do something, and which, you know, it's an airship.
That was my concern when I first saw
Yeah.
this.
Well,
see, it's an
There
airship.
are other people that are involved. See, that's the issue. Has everybody been notified about this?
No, the trailer that came down is my niece. They took all the tin off of it and left it. Because I pay the taxes on it, because they wouldn't, so the state wouldn't take it, well, selling in front of the courthouse, I pay the taxes. But every time I go up there to try to get them to do something, they would call costs for me, and the cops would make me leave. Even though I was paying the taxes. And they left it about 2 years ago. They took all the tin off of it and left it. Okay, they started getting on me because I was paying the taxes.
That's why everybody needs to be brought in on this.
And she's the one, the trailer was in her name, and it's,
In my,
her name is Cindy Davis Loveberry. And she just left the trailer there. So they told me that I was responsible for tearing it down.
Why don't we let you, because what the president said, why don't we let you work with the planning department? We have until you, with your cast, we have until June 28th, that's before the 4th of July, because we'll have a meeting that week. And see if you can work something out. That gives you time to gather the information for everybody, and she'll help you with that.
And in the meantime, you need to make sure everybody gets notice.
Yeah.
of this.
So-
Is anybody?
Well, see, I have, me and my husband.
I know, they have the time.
We're the only one living.
Maybe close to 90 days.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That's good.
Good, that,
Yes.
and in the meantime, you can get it cleaned up.
See, my
Make that
problem
presentation.
too,
I just wanna make
see,
sure.
my
we get
problem
everybody-
too, my boys all work out of town. They don't want to come back like 6 days in a month. And that's when we go up there and work.
Well, listen, you have a great Easter.
Okay.
Get that cast off, and why don't we see you in 3 months?
Okay.
And let's see if we've made progress, and then that way we know with clear conscience that if you haven't made progress in 3 months, then you know what we do is what we had to do.
Yeah.
Madam President, you good with that? Mr. Hagy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so the motion is made to give her.
Till June 28th.
28th. To get with. Or the planning board, figure out a plan. And come back to us.
so what we hope.
We need to make sure you get everybody involved, that's involved under this estate,
There are a lot of,
so.
and there's some I don't even know where they're at.
Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, 9:32. At 9:30, we had a funding request. Westport Conservation District, Jim Roy, Bill Carpenter, operation and maintenance of watershed dam. Gentlemen?
Good morning, Commissioner. Good to see each one of you this morning. I am here representing the West Fork Conservation District, Jim Roy with the Conservation Agency. And we are requesting a continuation of funding for Salem Fort flood control dams. We appreciate the funding and support we've had in the past, and we're requesting funding for another year. So, we do have a handout here that talks about the dams. These dams are 50 years old and older, and they do require quite a bit of maintenance and operation. We have been working very closely with the city of Salem for the O&M on these dams, and that's been very successful. And but we do need continued support from the Harrison County Commission.
Next, the commission approved the request. Madam President.
Motion to approve the request, because it's
8,000.
8,000, okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying, ain't over yet, Bill. Signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Now you're good, Bill.
Thank you so much for your continued report. Good to see each one of you.
Hey, you too, you take care.
Take care. You do too.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you.
Okay. Number 22, review, discuss, consider changing the name of Badger Pond Lane to Smoky Mountain Road.
Madam Administrator, how many people this time?
Just one, and she's making the request.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve number 22. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 23, review, discuss, consider parking lots behind courthouse acquisition, potential executive session pursuant to 698-4B9 to consider matters involving or affecting the purchase, sale, or lease of property, advanced construction planning, the investment of public funds, or other matters involving commercial competition, which if made public might adversely affect the financial or other interests of the county. What's the pleasure?
Moving down to executive session.
Motion to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No. Give the county administrator, permission to negotiate.
The authority, motion's been made to give the authority of the county administrator to negotiate the individuals that have parking lot this not, is that correct?
Please.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 24, review, discuss, consider order to dissolve park board.
Commissioners, in front of you, you have the resolution to dissolve the Harrison County Parks and Recreation Commission that legal has come up with.
Motion. Pass a resolution involving the Harrison County Park and Recreation Commission. Establish Parks and Rec.
Motion's been made to dissolve the Parks and Rec Board and create a Parks and Rec under the county commission. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we add with the effective date?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes,
I'll let Brenda
today.
know. What effective date would you prefer?
Today's 4/5.
You want 4 or 5 or you want 30 days?
Get everything together.
Whatever.
I think it would make sense to give 30, 60 days. Out if this is gonna go through, there's gonna be some transition, people are gonna have questions, we have to figure out some logistical issues.
Meeting on the 14th, so you want to be on meeting days, do May 31st or June 14th.
I would rather May 31st, only because June 14th, we'll have a lot going on with budget training, budget revisions and everything this week.
Okay. May 31st. 2023.
So that's going to be the effective date in your motion. correct?
Yes, ma'am.
May I say that again?
May 31st. 2023.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carried. Number 25, review, discuss, consider Harrison County Building Commission meeting planning for permitting the use of the third floor of the GSA to by nonprofit organizations, state agencies, or instrumental or other third-party entities pursuant to the for example, West Virginia Code Section 713K and 713H.
President, I just want to make sure I understand, we're going to discuss the county building commission to do the leasing and ordering and not the commission itself. Is that correct?
I really can't speak to this.
It would have to go through the building commission.
That's how the building's titled.
It would have to go through the building commission, but the motion I'm gonna make before after discussion is that the leasing to nonprofit organizations as stated in the agenda item. Profit organizations, that we authorize the county administrator to hire a leasing agent representing the Harrison County Commission to help generate revenue to help pay down the debt. That's gonna be my motion. But yes, it has to go to the building commission, but she then would be able to, with the leasing agent, work one-on-one to lease the property and determine a price for the leasing of the 18,000 square feet on the third floor. Because we can't reach to a, for example, an accountant or an attorney But we could lease, for example, to a nonprofit organization such as WV, UNC Hospital, to doctor's offices for billing or other entities like, child advocacy, et cetera. United Way.
So are you talking the whole floor?
Yes, just the money is, it's an incredible opportunity because, even if we did it at $2 a square foot, that's $36,496 a month, $5, $91,000 a month. So $10 a month would be $182. I mean, we're talking $1 million or $2 million a year. And then because the third floor is, where we would just stay right here and motors would stay where it's at.
Voters would stay where it's at.
Mhm.
Here,
Yeah, in the courthouse,
what about booking?
stays.
Did we discuss that with the county clerk?
What we can discuss right now, that's why we're having a discussion now.
I mean, I don't know that you want to separate his whole office. Two separate buildings, but that's not me.
Well,
I need to go back to the rent for a second and understand what you're renting per square foot.
well, we rent out the whole top floor to whoever wanted whatever amount of footage they wanted for their entity.
And how much per square foot?
That's what we would have to hire a leasing agent to determine. And I gave you like the numbers, David, $2 is 36,000, $5 is 91,000, $10 is 182. And Madam President, I am sorry if I offended you by separating bookkeeping. I don't know how
No,
much
you're not
it meant to you.
offending me at
Well, I know
all.
how much it meant to you being county clerk and a great job you did. And John, if I offended you, I apologize. But it's just an opportunity for us to recover some money because, we know right now, an example I'll give is the downstairs project right now. That is gonna gobble up every cent we have for building. Anything else happens to this building, it will come out of our savings. There's no money in the checking whatsoever. And this year we did put an extra $1 million. It won't be 1.2 million, it'll be 2.2 million into that building this year. We can recover costs and we can continue to use that money to pay down that building. And then if we have to, then we can sandbag money for other projects, such as tearing down the old one that we're replacing. But also we can filter money through the county. It's an opportunity for us to do something without having to do a whole bunch of work. But it's an opportunity to make money. And it's an opportunity to relieve ourselves of some of the debt that we have.
Are we gonna pay for all the remodel?
That would be up to you all. If they wanted to make it like, what I understand is most people want to come in and make it as they want it. So
Somebody has to pay for that.
I think that would be the leasing person. Unless we worked out an agreement, am I willing to do
That's usually normally the property owner
yeah,
responsible for making it.
It's on the property and
well,
I mean, I just want to say, everybody knows perfectly well how I feel about that building. But we have,
and it's a beautiful building.
I won't even go that far, but, sorry. It's just, everybody knows, and I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I hate the payment that we have. But I don't know that renting out the third floor is the answer.
But
That's just my,
Madam President, we had a 5-year lease with somebody at $5 a square foot. $250 million in it to do what they wanted, and they had a 5-year lease. You realize over that 5-year lease, we'd make $4.5 million. I mean, it's,
well, let's just lease the whole building.
well, we don't,
Why did we build it? That's
well, we built the building to relieve some space in the courthouse.
even,
But you're right, but what we do have is the first 2 floors. Corrections is already in, they're helping us with the payment by paying rent. And this third floor, we could just stay in the courthouse as well as if Mr. Spires is comfortable with the bookkeeping. I mean, it's all can be talked about and worked out, everybody can be happy.
that's, I've gotta have some help on the math. You're saying 8,000 square feet. At $2 or $5 a square foot.
I don't know, that's what I don't know.
Just use me and give me one example, so I can.
Well, you have 18,000 square feet,
you've
right?
been over
Yeah,
here
make
doing
that.
some math, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just trying to understand it, Matt, because I know when we lease buildings, it's per square foot cost, so if you wanna do it at $24 a square foot,
Mhm.
okay?
Yes, sir.
That's what you would rent your 8,000 square feet at, you divide that by 12, and that's your monthly cost.
Okay,
There's a total of 18,248 square feet
On the first floor,
on the third floor.
third floor,
so David, at $2 times 18, it's $36,000 a month.
how much empty office space is in downtown Clarksville? We got a 10-story building beside this.
But let me say this to you, and and let's be honest right now. With us moving out of the Chase building. And the others waiting for their lease to expire, as we know they are. We're the show in town now, we're the only new building. Nobody else is building a new building in downtown Blacksburg. And we're potentially looking at the Chase building unless somebody makes a major investment in it, another golf field. So what I'm saying is, we could have nonprofit organizations, bringing them into downtown. They utilize the courthouse. I mean, what do they see that they're building in it? We created foot traffic, so that our restaurants had business, and our dentist offices have customers. This is a good chance, guys. If we had to keep Mr. Spires over there with bookkeeping, we would take that out of the 18,000 square feet. Don't want to do anything to cause anybody to work in this building any harder than they have to because of lack of common sense. So Susan's made it clear to me, maybe I didn't have common sense on that, but I do now. So I'm willing to say sure. And how much of that 18,000 feet is not even finished right now? So it would be an easy remodel because there's nothing to tear down. We'll just be putting up.
The back shelf space.
Right. The bookkeeping is a total of 3 people, right? 2 people. So we can make a thing, we can find a place for 2 people. I promise you we will. We will not inconvenience you in any way.
Thanks. Spent some time figuring about putting John across the street. Giving voting a real good area to work out of instead of having to drag stuff from annex down the elevator and over and back up and down. Everything would be in one spot.
Is that a problem, Don? Then what happened down an elevator? It's not fun.
And I think it, and the commission is staying here. We're gonna have to either go and find other space for the prosecutor's office. Go rent her or something, or move her across the street, or because they're totally squeezed out. So where are we gonna put them?
Well, we can look at bookkeeping, 2 or 3 offices. At the whole floor here except for our office.
John, you'd be third floor bookkeeping,
Could we find a
your
place?
books, and then your voting would be back here across the street, so you'd be in 3 locations.
Let me ask you something, David. You know the building better than anybody. If on first or second floor, could we not find a spot for 2 people? Look even. Hey, John, could you go out over there and see some empty space? In the room?
I don't want bookkeeping separated.
Okay. No, let's not do it. Let's move bookkeeping over. And
That's the only thing I see, and this is just me talking, is one, utilities, insurance. Security for the rest of the courthouse. Whether or not the bonding company even wants to think about it, and who you're gonna find that's a nonprofit that's gonna pay that kind of money per square foot when they're normally, right now, they're down in the Harrison County School Board building paying pennies on the dollar instead of paying big dollars. I'm just trying to figure out who's gonna come marching in. I know WVU, I think, actually, we would be in their purview of what they would consider something to set up, because then we'd be in their time off. I just don't see how we would bring in something like that. So. Saying it's not a good thought, but just don't, I just don't see the. We need to get into the leasing business. And you still gotta get the approval of the building.
Well, as Mr. Schley said, they're just a pass through to prove whatever we want.
Well, we have commissions that we have that say that, but sometimes they don't act like that. So I'll just leave it at that. So. Maybe the intentions, but ultimately they don't have to do that.
Madam President, I'll put the motion on the floor for vote.
So you're wanting your motion,
To lease out to nonprofit organizations for the county and the county administrator to hire a leasing agent to represent the Harrison County Commission to help generate revenue and pay down debt.
that's your motion,
Please.
as stated by Mr. Treecott. Any further discussion?
Uh.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Those opposed? No. Number 26, administrators report.
First, I'd like to start off with Michelle, if she would give us an overall update of ARPA funds and the projects that are going on. I figured it'd be good to have like maybe a quarterly update to know what's going on with these ARPA funds.
So, as we know, the county received approximately $13 million of that. We allocated $12,080,000 to 15 subrecipients. As of March 31st, 11 of 15 have requested funds. The 4 that haven't are Salem, Lundbergport, Bridgeport, and Sun Valley. All of those have projects that should start in the summer or the fall or even the early winter. So I'm not worried about them not starting projects. They just haven't got there yet. There are 4 subrecipients that have received all of their funds. That's Clarksburg, Shortline, Stonewood, and Lost Creek. And the other 7 subrecipients are all, requesting us as they go along. Their projects are ongoing. One thing I want to commend our subrecipients for is their ability to take whatever we have given them and they have matched it with grants and loans and such, and their projects are really big. So for example, Shortline received $50,000 from us, but it's a $5 million project that they're working on. So and all those projects are like that. Greater Harrison has 3 going on right now. They're just about to start their biggest one, which is a $25 million overall project. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I think everyone's doing a really good job with going out and seeking matching funding and additional funding for their projects. So,
And Michelle, I will tell you this, thank you for the job you're doing, because in other counties, they're pulling their hair out because they're not keeping track where that money is going, and they are going to get bit.
that was my biggest fear, actually, when we first heard about the ARPA funding was, oh my gosh, how's everyone gonna keep track? But I do have to give some credit to my contacts at Thrasher, who are doing project management, and Region 6, who are also doing project management. They've all been great.
Or there are a few of our friends in other counties that aren't keeping track, you're gonna have to answer some major questions.
Yeah, they really are.
They're spending it like it's, they're out of their wallet.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to add in there that $12 million, it went for infrastructure, water, sewer. We're not spending it on, paving a street or something like that. Something might get paved, but it's because they ran new lines underneath it. I mean, I think that's pretty big for us that we're
And Michelle, we
showing that.
probably turned that into probably for the $48 million of projects when this is coming.
Oh, probably, yeah. I would doubt that. And that's a good example for Lost Creek, for example. Their drainage project includes paving after they're done, but they made it very specific in the information they sent to us that our funds will be used for the drainage portion and that the paving will come out of different funds. So we're keeping track of that as well, just to make sure.
I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of money.
The only other update I have is downstairs. The plan is, and please don't hold me to this, but the plan is for them to be outside of the building by the end of this week. They are even going to work Good Friday if they need to, but for them to finally be out of the building by the end of this week. Of course, they'll have a good bit of construction yet to do on Third Street in that sewer. But hopefully, soon we can get the record room open, back open to the public and everything else to that.
And Madam President, if you don't mind, did we send that concrete off to the Historical Society? Because it was left over from the different days. Because it is not concrete. It is concrete. There's
There's,
concrete and then there's concrete. It's like plaster at my mom's house and drywall at mine. There's drywall you get your head off of and die, and there's drywall you put your head through.
in some layers, there are actually, in some areas, there's actually 3 layers of concrete. So they're having to jackhammer the first layer, come back, jackhammer the second layer, then the third. I mean, they've been phenomenal, but it's a heck of a job.
It literally is. Anyway. Madam President, I don't have anything.
What are we doing with the storm sewer? We're gonna use the same existing pipe that's running out now, or we're gonna take it through and run it?
I think we're gonna try to run it through.
Are we running it at the same time we're running the sewer line down the Third Street, or we're gonna use the old line out? Main.
I will give an update on that, but I believe the last Danny and I spoke is we're gonna lay a new line and everything. Why we have to,
Stormwater, yeah, stormwater
yes,
and for sewer.
and pursue it. While we have it all tore up, might as well go ahead and take care of it now.
See any closer to coming up with that first.
I have not seen or heard of the place yet.
I do have one thing. Hey, please don't forget to work with the Sheriff's Department. I want for burnt structures, I want to start holding their money again. We're allowed to do that. We've done that in the past. That's what's happening. People take their money, then they're gone. And that's costing us throughout the county that we're allowed to hold their money until they get rid of
And write the insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
Right, but we've stopped doing that. We've got with all that you all putting together with planning to fight and make our county work appetizing, that's a tool in the toolbox that we can drop.
I'll get with the sheriff
Yeah.
and see if we can get that implemented as soon as possible. I mean, I can think of 2
I don't think it's
structures
implemented. I think we just need to start working it again.
and doing it again.
Yeah, I think that plan is in place
So I know of 2 buildings that are burnt. The people got the money,
and going.
yeah, and did nothing to the building, and then they hurried up and sold it to someone else, and now we're trying to track down someone else who the property owner is.
Yeah, they sold it by giving them $50 and taking their money.
And once you give notice to the insurance company, they're obligated to move the money
Yeah.
for the
You hear that,
remediation.
guys?
But you gotta be quick.
Yeah, you gotta, I mean, he's got, you have Michelle run downstairs and get that. I'll take the elevator. What is it, David?
Oh, no, Susan, you have any comments?
No,
I only, call it a comment, but I have had people get in contact with me and are interested in purchasing the, county garage over. Airport. And whether or not we want to look at selling the county garage, leasing back part of it, but there is interest.
Look at my face, Commissioner. Put it on next week's agenda. Get a fair asking price for it. And relieve ourselves and then pay off whatever other debt we have. That we can use that money to cover any other building
We gotta figure out where we're gonna fix cars.
Yeah, we gotta figure out where.
We can think, we'll lease a piece in it.
I'm just saying that there is,
It would be nice to be, not have one.
we have a lot of stuff in that building too.
It's
So,
There's so good.
My God, you see that stuff, it's so-
Something I thought about the last one.
So if it's a interest, then that's all I've got is that, apologize for, we didn't have our groundbreaking tomorrow. Couldn't get the senators to get on the same page. And they couldn't get on the same page. By the time they got on the same page, we'll have the footers board starting in May on the new terminal at the airport, so. It's moving right along. And I think that's it.
Motion adjourned, Madam President?
Motion to adjourn, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, any opposed? None, motion carries.